Adrenaline and semen retention change how your body handles pressure. You care because right now stress drains you instead of sharpening you. You feel tired after stimulation. You lose focus after distraction. This is about turning stress into fuel instead of burnout. That difference changes everything. Your nervous system runs your life. When it is unstable, your focus breaks. When it is overstimulated, your energy crashes. Frequent dopamine spikes from constant release train your brain to chase pleasure instead of power. That pattern lowers drive and weakens stress tolerance over time. Adrenaline is not just excitement. It is your survival chemistry. It increases heart rate, sharpens focus, and prepares your muscles for action. But if your baseline energy is low, adrenaline feels like anxiety. Instead of power, you feel panic. Instead of clarity, you feel chaos. Semen retention changes the baseline. When you stop constant release, dopamine stops swinging wildly. Prolactin, the hormone that rises after ejaculation and reduces motivation, stays lower overall. You feel more stable. Stability allows adrenaline to feel controlled instead of overwhelming. Think about how you feel after binge stimulation. Your body feels heavy. Your mind feels foggy. That is neurochemical depletion. Now imagine facing a challenge in that state. Your stress response will not be sharp. It will feel exhausting. That is the hidden cost most people ignore. Retention builds tension instead of releasing it instantly. That tension is not weakness. It is stored energy. When you train, speak, compete, or create, that energy converts into intensity. You appear more alert. Your reactions feel faster. Your voice becomes stronger. The key is nervous system efficiency. Your body has two main modes: sympathetic, which activates you, and parasympathetic, which calms you. Constant stimulation confuses this balance. Retention combined with discipline improves regulation. You switch into performance mode when needed, then recover properly afterward. Estenphile, meaning internal strength reserve, is not mystical. It is your perceived vitality. When you feel internally strong, you move differently. Retention increases that perception. Confidence is not magic. It is neurochemistry aligned with behavior. That alignment changes posture, eye contact, and tone. Adrenaline works best on a prepared system. If your sleep is poor and your hormones unstable, stress drains you. If your discipline is strong and your dopamine balanced, stress sharpens you. Retention is not the only factor, but it amplifies the effect of good habits. You start noticing small changes. You wake up with more urgency. Work feels less heavy. Gym sessions feel more explosive. That is not superhuman power. It is reduced distraction. When your mind stops leaking attention into constant craving, your output naturally rises. There is also a psychological shift. When you resist impulse, you build self-trust. Self-trust lowers internal conflict. Less internal conflict means less background stress. When real pressure arrives, your system has more capacity. That makes adrenaline feel focused instead of scattered. Most people burn adrenaline on screens. Quick stimulation, quick release, quick crash. That cycle trains your brain for short bursts followed by fatigue. Retention trains delayed gratification. Delayed gratification strengthens your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and impulse control. Impulse control is performance leverage. In high-stress situations, people who control impulses stay composed. Adrenaline flows, but they do not overreact. Retention strengthens this pattern because you practice saying no daily. That repetition rewires your stress response. Your body also conserves micronutrients and energy resources when ejaculation frequency decreases. While the effect is often exaggerated online, recovery demands do exist. Reduced frequency can slightly improve overall vitality, especially when combined with training, nutrition, and proper sleep. Confidence increases because you feel less fragmented. When you constantly indulge impulses, you experience micro-guilt and self-doubt. That drains mental energy. Retention removes that internal friction. Without friction, adrenaline feels like ambition instead of anxiety. Eye contact becomes stronger. Speech becomes slower and more deliberate. These are subtle but powerful shifts. People read nervous system stability instantly. When your baseline is calm and energized, others perceive authority. Authority creates opportunities. Adrenaline is meant for action. If you suppress it with constant release and low motivation, it turns into restlessness. Retention channels it. You feel a controlled edge. That edge pushes you to train harder, work longer, and think sharper. There is contrast here. Most people chase comfort. Retention chooses discomfort. Comfort weakens stress tolerance. Discomfort builds it. When you voluntarily resist urge, you prepare for involuntary stress. That preparation compresses recovery time after intense effort. Recovery improves because your sleep deepens. Many report better sleep stability during retention phases. Better sleep improves testosterone regulation and nervous system repair. Improved repair enhances resilience. Resilience makes adrenaline productive instead of destructive. This is not magic. Scientific evidence on long-term retention benefits is still limited. Short-term testosterone spikes after brief abstinence have been observed, but they normalize. The bigger effect is behavioral. Discipline improves lifestyle. Lifestyle improves biology. You become more intentional with energy. Instead of chasing instant relief, you invest in growth. That mental model changes how you handle challenges. Adrenaline stops being something you escape. It becomes something you ride. Your workouts change. You push harder because tension exists. That tension is redirected aggression. Not anger at others, but pressure transformed into effort. Effort creates progress. Progress builds confidence. Confidence stabilizes stress response. You also reduce dependency on artificial stimulation. Less dependency means fewer crashes. Fewer crashes mean more consistent energy. Consistency beats intensity. A stable performer outperforms a chaotic one every time. Retention can also increase perceived magnetism. When your nervous system is balanced and energized, micro-expressions shift. Body language becomes grounded. People sense vitality subconsciously. That response is evolutionary and subtle. The advantage is clarity. When dopamine is not constantly overstimulated, simple tasks feel rewarding again. Adrenaline during a presentation feels like excitement, not fear. That reframing changes career trajectory. You stop seeking validation through pleasure. You seek validation through achievement. Achievement produces long-term dopamine satisfaction. That satisfaction stabilizes mood. Stability enhances resilience. Pressure becomes a proving ground instead of a threat. Your body still releases adrenaline, but you interpret it differently. Interpretation changes outcome. Same chemistry. Different meaning. Different result. Retention also forces you to confront boredom. Boredom builds creativity. Creativity channels adrenaline into ideas instead of impulses. That is a competitive advantage in modern life. The machine metaphor works because systems matter. Fuel, wiring, recovery, control. Retention strengthens wiring and control. Training strengthens structure. Nutrition fuels output. Together, they create performance. If this video gave you real value, tap the thanks button. Your support helps me keep creating deeper content like this. Every thanks is a spark that keeps this mission alive. Your support means more than you know. Real wisdom deserves real energy. Drop a thanks to fuel the next level. You are not becoming superhuman. You are removing leaks. When energy stops leaking through compulsive habits, your baseline rises. A higher baseline changes how adrenaline feels under pressure. Adrenaline rewired through discipline becomes your ally. Retention is one tool among many. Use it with purpose, not obsession. Pair it with fitness, sleep, and mission-driven work. That is how you turn stress into fuel and become a high-performance machine.